Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cooper Still Standing. This is Kimberly Cook, and I'm here with your host, Jeffrey Cooper.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 9th, and it's evening here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm here with Kim, and we're going to talk about some kind of interesting stuff tonight. And so one thing we'd like to do here first is start with the message of the day. And the message of the day we're going to talk about probably a little bit later after we share the message of the day. We're going to talk about how we got it. We got it from a fellow named Gary Leakey, and we went to a trip in Belize, and we learned this from him on one of the exercises, multiple exercises that we did with him, and we'll talk about that. But the message of the day is you could do anything for 1 minute. You can really pretty much do anything. I'm not talking about you can complain for 1 minute, be a total asshole or something like that, but you could really do something for yourself for 1 minute. And within that 1 minute, you can, do some sit-ups, do some push-ups, do 5 push-ups. We don't care. Do 10, right? Just do something. And the reality is that, the other day, 1 minute, I paid a bill. So I paid a bill 1 minute. It was done. So I'd like to thank Gary for that. And so the reality is you can do anything for 1 minute. So thank you, Gary. And so here, real quick here, so Kim and I, we went on a trip to Belize, and we had a great time doing yoga and stuff like that, and we did all kinds of stuff and therapy, mental therapy, physical therapy, it seemed like, right? And so what was your takeaway on that, Kim? So when we went to the trip, so what was your takeaway from the overall island experience of the yoga retreat with Nat and Gary?
I'd say that humans have the ability to shed a layer. It's not like skin externally, but man, it's something else. And I always feel like kind of a new person or a new lizard when I leave an experience like that. It's kind of like a rebirth or a shedding. Everybody has the ability to change, and it's just very difficult sometimes to kind of shed those layers or leave something that's not serving you in the past. And I definitely got to take some of that away.
Yeah, so I definitely had the experience, and I didn't really realize this, about yoga would really do this, for me or with me or to me or whatever. But, there's several parts of yoga that I really like. The yoga part of the physical part, and then also the mental part. And so, on the island, it was just typical standard yoga. And we would do, a couple times a day. We'd do typically the harder classes in the morning. And then in the evening, we'd do a little more of a slow down class that wouldn't push you so hard. And then in the afternoons, we would do this ME class. It would stand for
Metabolic effect.
Metabolic effect. And so, a little difference than a regular HIIT class, where what did Gary say?
I love it when you rest.
I love it when you rest, right? And then at the end he goes, okay, you can do anything for 30 more seconds, or you can do whatever, sit-ups or whatever, and he pushed the fuck out of us. Remember that?
And it was just so empowering, that reminder that you could do it. You can do anything for this long. It's such a short period of time. It's just a short fraction of your life. I don't necessarily feel like paying bills is something I do for myself, but I do feel that, like, yeah, you can do anything for such a short window, 60 seconds. Sometimes, we've been joking with the phrase now. Sometimes it's, you can do anything for 5 years. You could do anything for a year, 6 months, a few months. We were living in a situation that was less than comfortable for our family. And we were like, yeah, we could do this though. If we've done it this long, we could definitely do this you can do anything for a short duration of time. And we are very strong, resilient, the humans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty cool on the trip. We scheduled this trip into Belize about 7-8 months ago, quite a while ago. And it was based on our yoga, passion, I guess, I didn't know what I was getting into, to be honest with you. I was just going to go do yoga, have fun. I didn't try to have any expectations what the trip was. Kim has done another trip with these guys, and she really, enjoyed it, and now I see why. And so I get there with, really zero expectations, really what's going on. And we get to Belize, a little bit early. We get in there like a day early, And we ended up staying at this place called the Seaside Chateau, and that was like a freaking interesting story right there. And we'll maybe circle back and talk about that. Just getting to the hotel was kind of a humorous, deal. And remember the hotel, we thought it was some guy's house. We pulled up, and some guy pulls up and goes, "Get the hell out of my house!" And the resort was just like a couple blocks down or block down or something like that.
Yeah, the whole of the experience was awesome.
It was just phenomenal. Then heading over, then we flew over to Degria, a little plane. Then we took a boat over to the island. We stayed on this island for a little over a week. It seemed like a week, right?
Exactly, yeah. 1 week, 7 days.
1 week,
day 7 on the island.
Day 7 on the island, yeah. We started day 1, day 2 on the island, because the island was only like a mile by about 300 yards wide, and when high tide come in, half the island would disappear. And so we would wake up in the morning and
kind of close quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. We go in, and there was only 12 of us at this special yoga retreat, and so we got to know each other pretty well within those 6 days. We went to this island for the retreat, and we learned a lot about yoga, about ourselves, and one of the takeaways I had, besides Gary, of course, and Gary is going to be on the podcast here pretty soon. He's going to talk about some of this stuff, which is pretty cool. But I've had a few takeaways from the island, and one thing I wasn't going to experience was the share circle. And so after all day of really kind of a between intense relaxing day, doing your workouts and stuff, and recovering and having meals and stuff, and it's like more family meals. At night, just after dinner, we'd have a share circle, and everyone would have to they basically share different things. And do you remember what the first night was, Kim?
Well, I think it's centered on highs and lows. So I don't recall every one of her, like she would give us a thing to ponder, like your samskaras, your habits. Was one of them one day. She'd give it 2 to ponder in the yoga class in the morning. And then when we would have those meetings in the evening, we would regroup and talk about how your samskaras affect your day. Maybe some highs and lows of your day, and then your what did you think about when you thought about what she had planted, the seed she planted, whether it was the samskara patterns. And I can't remember. I think day 1 she didn't give us one, and I think day 2 she gave us the first one.
Yeah.
Because day 1 was like day 0, if you will.
Yeah, it was a blur, right? It was a blur. And I remember someone, I don't know if it was her or someone else, brought up the idea of, stealing, right? Stealing from others. And it wasn't like money or stuff like that, but just stealing from them emotionally, or stealing from them their space or their time to speak or something, And so there was a lot of that talk going on, and I heard that phrase quite a bit, and so that kind of rung in my head, and that little guy rings in my head once in a while, internally, and make sure I try not to steal from people, so that was pretty cool in that. But the physical thing I got from the whole trip, I feel like I've came back. I think we both came back feeling pretty damn lean, a lot tighter than we feel right now after Christmas, of course, and kind of moving and letting everything else get in our way, and not thinking about our health as much as we should. But I think one of the things I learned on the island of my yoga, at least, is that I think I had a lot more range than I thought I had. So that was pretty cool. What was your takeaway, you think?
What do you mean?
For the island.
Oh, like I already said, that the human does have the ability to change and shed a layer. That was my takeaway.
Yeah. Now.
And it was Nat who introduced the term, the non-stealing, but I can't remember the Sanskrit word for it. It was non-stealing. She came to us with the non-stealing form of it.
That was cool.
Because there was a Sanskrit word for non-stealing. It was cool. And I can't remember what that one was.
I can't remember. There's a lot going on.
Samskaras I remember because that's habits, and I've heard it before. Samskaras is a big one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?
Samskaras.
You can hear that monk there. Yeah, so we had good physical activity and stuff.
Yeah, it's just very enlightening. I feel like it's a very eye-opening experience, and like a very wide, not just a physicality aspect. I mean, I loved walking away with the metabolic effect experience. I did not expect that. in previous retreats, I had not participated in some of the other activities. And I guess just Gary's style and the workout platform, something about it was just right for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that ME type deal. It would really work.
I love it when I rest.
I love it when you sleep. I love when I pass out. I love when I do too many bong rips. I just love it all.
No, I loved that. And like I said before, I remember the doing sit-ups and you're like, God, those last 20 seconds are so hard. And when he's shouting at you, I love it, when you rest, or not that part, but I love it when somebody reminds you it's only a short period of time. I don't think Gary's exactly the first person to say that. I feel like that's something that the yoga instructors will remind you of too. It's even something that Jordan does with that 10, 9. I'm still counting from 10, 9. Didn't I start at 10? And he fucks with you, right?
Oh, he drives me nuts.
But it's kind of the same thing in a sicker way where you can do anything for 20 seconds. You got this.
Yeah, true. But that's where it really where it resonated with me, because we started making fun of it in a way. We started to make it part of our daily conversation just out of fun. So I thought that's
you can eat some more rice and beans for. You can do anything for another minute and a half.
Dude, that was one thing they liked about the Belize, the culture. So
the food in that third world country knocks ours to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. What I liked about it was their portions, because in America, all the portions. We went out to eat tonight to a hamburger place, and
it was way too much food.
I got sick. It was awful. It was too much food. The hamburgers. I mean, they had 4 pounds of beef on this patty with crap on it, and it tasted so good. It was just too much, and all the
not good for your body,
grease and all that stuff. And so, man, I'm gonna swear that off here for a week.
We were trying to appease a 15-year-old.
Yeah, we
cheeseburgers are what he dreams about, and then he was like, "Oh, it was very big."
Yeah. This is a kid whose ambition is to get 300 pounds. I think
he's
to play football.
6'2". I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God, he was totally telling his friends that today. They were all probably sitting in the locker room like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be 300 pounds. No, I'm gonna be." Fuck. And all the girls are in the other locker room. Yeah, well, I'm never going to be more than 100 pounds. I'm skinnier than a brownie.
Yeah, if I eat, I'm going to purge it right now.
I'm going to throw up, Jeff. I'm going to purge if we talk about this. No, we were talking about Gary and Nat and our epic retreat in Belize.
Special thanks to Gary now.
Wind back.
They're fucking awesome, man. I would do that again. I mean, it was just a great experience.
Amen.
But what happened though? We got really lucky on the whole trip, and after we did the island for 7 days, because we left on the 7th day, I think. I mean, day 7 or whatever we left, and the weather finally, Gilligan's boat was able to make it back to the main shore.
Golly, that boat, Cruz's boat, I forgot.
Remember how rough it was?
No, we weren't on Cruz's boat. We were on the other boat, right?
Yeah, we're on the other boat.
Anyways, it was a little sketch.
Yeah, so we made it back to the main island, got over to Belize, and we had a couple days. So we decided to, we didn't book anything on the way back, but we knew we had a couple days. So, and Kim, we really liked, both of us, Kim and I, we really liked the Seaside Chateau where we stayed.
Fell in love.
Yeah, this is a place.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ben, David, Josiah, that whole family is near and dear to my heart. Those are good people.
They're great people.
Yeah. Special. Truly, that experience was one of a kind. The type of thing we joke that you get front spots at the store all the time or wherever we go. It doesn't matter where we go. Jeff gets a front spot. It's kind of freaky. But it doesn't matter because this hotel experience was worth all the front spot shit that I give you, because that was a front spot at Seaside Chateau.
Well, no, you found that place.
I know. And then I begged you to book more expensive shit inland at that Rainforest Giant Lodge and all this stuff. I was like, Jeff, it's the night before we're going. Aren't you going to book something for the last nights that we're there? And he was like, no, I'm not actually. It was fucking funny, guys. I can't make this up because I was in such denial. He's like, don't you have that one place booked already? Let's check it out. What if we like it? And never in a million years did we think we would fall in love. It's brand new.
Right. Well, no, the whole
nicest hotel I'd ever been in the States. because they were brand new. I mean, even once it's run down, they're probably going to take really good care of it. There's a lot of heart into that place.
Right. It's really pretty cool the way they have it laid out. And so I think if I understand right, they had the property. They got it from a lady who owned a bunch of resorts there in Belize. And she ended up snagging the land from her at a price. I don't know what it was, but they had a big-ass house on it. And so what they did, they, just within 6 months, they added a pool. They added these little casitas that look like tough sheds, a little bit bigger, all decked out with the bathrooms and stuff, all wood, really gorgeous. And pre-made, they come in and just plop them in, finish them up with the rest of the team and stuff. And then that's where we stayed, the casita there, right on the Caribbean Sea, and the Belize River is right there at the confluence of Belize River and the Caribbean Sea. It was really pretty cool. We didn't really understand why you couldn't swim there, but I guess there was stuff in the river that was going to eat you. Remember that?
I understand. I think I understand. I don't want to understand. Josiah got in there, though. I know that there's a huge race on it. It's just the confluence is where all the ocean creatures that eat the river creatures that eat the river creatures that eat the ocean creatures and vice versa all confluence, like you said.
Yeah. Kim wants me to. There's this like 200-mile Belize race down the Belize River. I guess it's like 200 miles, and it's a 4-day deal. So you do like 50 miles a day in a canoe. And so I don't think anyone gets eaten by piranhas and stuff in the race. So we've been talking maybe about doing it now, right?
Let's do it.
Just do it, huh? Just do it.
It's Tour Day Belize River or something. What's it called?
Yeah, I can fall in the river and it'd be Cooper half standing.
You couldn't help it. You just could not. There was no way you were going to leave that one alone, huh, Jeff?
I couldn't leave that alone one bit. So, what's really cool, though, we got back off the island. I said we got to, and we stayed there at the Seaside Chateau, and it was really pretty cool. And I'll tell my version of the story. I'm sure Kim's going to tell her story. The story is I think it's one of the funniest moments we had. I think it was the first.
The fish.
Was the fish?
That was the first night. Yeah.
The first night. What happened is that we're out cruising, looking at the property the first night in Belize. This is the night before we're going to jump on the plane to Dangria. We're just going to stay there the night. And so we're like checking out the place. It's like all romantic, I mean, we look like honeymooners and shit, And so we're out walking the property, and Kim looks over to this little mangrove off this peninsula point area. And off to the right in these little mangrove, there's this like fish, man. It's just like probably like a 2, almost 3-foot fish, just kind of like hanging there, like, what's up? I'm about to die. And so Kim's like, hey, why don't you go save it? Go save a fish. So like a man, I go up there and I try to grab this damn thing.
I sounded like that.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
again,
you can tell your story in a second. And then I ended up picking this thing and flopping it on the ground at least 2 or 3 times. Like this thing was so slippery, I kept dropping it on the ground. Remember? I was trying to kill it even worse. And I threw it on the left side of the peninsula, and the fish is like turned upside down. So I threw him in. I go, fuck, man, we killed this damn thing. Remember? And then later, you can go ahead and tell the rest of the story if you want. Tell the rest of the story, Kim.
What? No, I don't know what happened after that, except that night we all had fish for dinner, and one of the other hotel guests was sure that she had discovered this fish out in the ocean. And at some point, Josiah and one of his colleagues hopped in a kayak and toppled it over, getting into the ocean
to go get it,
to go retrieve something, most likely this fish.
No, but it was really funny though when they got in the kayak. Big J, I think they call him, right? The son, the Big J,
Josiah.
Big J. And so anyhow, he gets alerted that there's this fish that he needs to go investigate out there by one of these other guests that were there.
There's a fish.
So he kind of looks over there and he couldn't quite get to it. And keep in mind, the fish somehow or another swam all the way back to the other side into the mangrove again.
Where the tide carried it.
Or where the tide carried or something, right? And so that's probably, you kind of just killed my feelings there when you said that.
I just killed it.
I killed the damn thing.
The fish was dead. You killed it.
It was dead. And so when the kids got in this canoe, right? They're like 5 feet in, because they're not swimming in there because there's some stuff in that thing.
No, just deep enough for them to get
There's
wet.
some stuff in there that'll eat you, right? So they're not in there like swimming after this thing. So they jump in this canoe about 5 feet in, they tip it over. Remember that just flopped right over and
I felt so bad
and
for
quickly
Liz.
they get back in the kayak. They take like 5 minutes. They get in the mangrove and they come back out and when they come back out they have this big fish. It was really pretty cool and they're taking it out and they're parading it all around the resort, right? And what I found out right there in Belize is nothing gets wasted. Nothing gets wasted. So
Yeah, you think that Chinaman's serving you the cat? You're wrong.
oh baby, yeah. We heard from a really good source that there's hardly any cats in Belize because the Chinaman likes them. And by the way, if I go to a Chinese restaurant there, I'll never get cat because I'm not Chinese. They won't serve it to me.
No, they won't serve it to you because it's a delicatessen. They're like, it's a really honest to goodness theory. Like, they like eating it. They're not going to serve it to you if it's a food bust. Then you complain, and they want it. He's right. Ben's right about that.
Yeah. So we get back onto Belize, staying with Ben in the Seaside Chateau, guys, and we're having a good time. And Ben picked us up from the airport, and we directly went off to the ruins, the Mayan ruins, and had a great time seeing that. And we got educated on the way out there because all of a sudden he starts calling these dog pot lickers and pumpers. And I go, okay, pot licker, I kind of get that. He goes, oh, yeah, the dogs eat all the stuff out of the pots. And I go, what's a pomper? what's a pomper?
Jeff didn't hear the pamper. Pamper.
Pampers. Ugh, I'm going to throw up. So
Again,
dogs are called pot lickers and pumpers. And so in Belize, it's really interesting to hear people talk because it's English, but it's like really super sped up, I think. And then it's all flattened out, so you have no like pitches in your vowels and stuff.
And it's like British English.
Oh yeah, it's like proper British English, like Creole and stuff like that. So when they start speaking, it's just like, oh, what did they say? Yeah. But we did that.
Yeah.
And so again, the highlight of the trip of all the stuff, of even almost over the yoga, the last day, the highlight of the trip, and we kind of planned this. We really wanted to see the monkeys, the howler monkeys. And so we went off, and Ben took us to the preserve where they hang out and protected. And we ended up seeing these monkeys, and it was the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen in real life.
Pretty magical.
So.
Very magical.
Well, again, message of the day is you can do anything for 1 minute. I want to thank you for listening in.
You can do a podcast. You can do anything for 15 minutes.
This is Jeff Cooper with CooperStillStanding. You could do anything for 15 minutes.
A pretty short amount of time, yeah.
Whatever short amount of time we did. Oh, my God, we did 20 minutes here, babe.
Signing off.
Signing off.